All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? This is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you guys so much for joining in with me today. Greatly appreciated. If you're currently watching this on IGTV, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to Teachable Tuesdays. Make sure you hit that notification button. You gotta make sure you tap it twice so that way you can get all my up-to-date videos and never miss a beat. If you're on YouTube, please follow me on Instagram at ACTRealMC. And if you're at YouTube right now and you currently haven't, subscribed to my channel, feel free to, click the bell notification. All right. So tonight we are in the in-house series part 2. And in case you missed part 1, I would definitely recommend you check that video out as well. But understanding that we're quarantined right now, we're stay-at-home orders and all that good stuff, but that doesn't mean that we have to stop growing. And tonight we're going to talk about uncomfortability and how uncomfortability can be a blessing. Now, let's just be real for a second. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. Nobody likes being uncomfortable. In fact, I think every single one of us strongly dislikes being uncomfortable. It's not a happy feeling. In fact, when we get uncomfortable at times, we do what we can to ease that uncomfort. For some of us, we may watch TV. For some of us, it may be playing video games. For some of us, it's listening to music. For some of us, it's some more unhealthy matters, binge eating, probably hanging out with people we shouldn't be hanging out with. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you on tonight that being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. All right? Sometimes being uncomfortable really can be a blessing. And if it's not a blessing to you, I can guarantee you it's a blessing to someone else. I can name plenty of examples in history where people were uncomfortable in order to help others. I think about Dr. MLK, Dr. King, and everything that he went through for what he stood for equal rights, for better opportunities for African Americans. And I mean, him and a lot of the civil rights leaders went through a lot. Even Malcolm X went through a whole lot to get their purpose accomplished. And there were plenty of times that they were uncomfortable. Some of the civil rights leaders were thrown in jail. Some of them were, beaten. Actually, a lot of them were beaten, really badly. Some of them died fighting for what they felt was right. And yes, it was uncomfortable, but their uncomfortability led to the blessings that we have now. That's not to say that everything is perfect, but if it wasn't for them, who knows what it could have been. I think about the story of Yeshua. In case you don't know who Yeshua is, that's Hebrew for Jesus the Christ. I see myself as a believer, I'm a Christian. And what he went through while he was on the cross, right? And how much he was uncomfortable at moments leading up to that final moment of the redemption of all of us. You know what I'm saying? And it was mad uncomfortable to the point where he even asked God, like, hey, look, this is uncomfortable. I'm not sure if I want to do this, but Lord, let it be your will, not mine. So in that moment, he showed that he was uncomfortable, but he was willing to go through his uncomfortability to be a blessing to other people. It ultimately gained a blessing out of it himself. And it's the same way with us. We all go through things in life that make us feel extremely, extremely uncomfortable. You might be in a living situation that is like hell right now. You might be uncomfortable with some of your classes in school. You might be uncomfortable with your relationship. And now I'm not saying if you're in an uncomfortable relationship, it's that bad. Romantic wise, you might need to get out. But if you're just having an uncomfortable moment, let's go that route. That doesn't mean there's not a blessing on the other side. But you have to be willing to see that. You have to be willing to believe that. You have to be willing to understand that your uncomfortability is going to eventually lead to something great. Uncomfort doesn't last forever. But a lot of times when we get uncomfortable, what do? We run away. We run far, far away. We run as far as we possibly can, and we don't look back. Instead of allowing the uncomfort to help us grow, to mold us, to help us mature. I can't tell you how many uncomfortable situations I've been at in my life, to the point where I hardly had any money, to the point where it seemed like I didn't have any friends. Even though I did have friends, it just seemed like everybody was distant, to the point where I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do what I was doing anymore. But I pressed through. And I pressed through because it wasn't just for me. I realized my uncomfortability is for people who may need to hear my story one day. And it's the same thing for you. You may be uncomfortable right now, but not only do you not know the blessing that's on the other side of uncomfortability, you don't know how much you're going to be a blessing to other people because of what you went through. You may be going through a heartbreak right now, right? Maybe somebody broke your heart, a family member, a friend, a significant other, a past significant other. You don't know how your pain and uncomfort could really help somebody else out that might go through the same exact thing. I was talking to a really, really good friend of mine today, real quick, and she brought up an interesting point about somebody that we both knew mutually. And she stated how God is going to use her pain, not my friend, but the person we were talking about, her pain to help somebody else. Her uncomfort is going to help somebody else. So when you're in that valley of being uncomfortable, I want you to ask yourself, is my uncomfort going to possibly bless somebody else? Is what I'm going through for a bigger purpose overall? And you might not be able to see it at the time. And if you can't see it at the time, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. But really seriously sit down and ask yourself that. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds. Ask yourself that question real quick. All right, I'm going to give you another 10 seconds. Ask yourself that question one more time. Think about it. If you answered yes, then keep doing what you're doing. Don't run away. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to feel a little sad and frustrated and upset while you're comfortable, but don't run away. Continue to embrace it because uncomfort doesn't last always. All right? Everybody has to go through the valley at some point. We all can't be at the mountaintop at the same time. But take what you're learning during that valley experience, the experience of being uncomfortable, but the experience of being hurt and frustrated. So that way, when you get to the other side, you can help somebody else who's about to go in the valley as well. All right? So that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you guys so much. Really greatly appreciate it. I appreciate your support. Again, if you watch this on Instagram, please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Teachable Tuesdays. If you're on YouTube, please go to my Instagram and follow me at ACTRealMC. Next week, we're going to be talking about how when you change your attitude, you change your mindset. I'm sorry, when you change your mindset, you can change your attitude. And that's actually a perfect, segue based on what we've been talking about tonight. All right. Again, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. I hope you guys are continuing to work on yourselves, continuing to love yourselves, and continue to be safe. All right? And until next Tuesday, y'all have a great day, great evening, or whatever time you may be watching this video. Peace out.